This is what a bear market looks like. When you look at the bubbles, this is what a bear market looks like. This is the 1 month view of the bubbles. And just look at these bubbles. Render down 44%, Zcash down 42%, Near down 46%, Athena down 50%, Arbitrum down 50%. Guys, that's in a month. In a month. That's not even the entire bear market. So can you imagine? I mean, just look at these charts over here. Look at what these charts look like. I mean, Arbitrum, when you take Arbitrum from its all-time high, or from its high here in November 2024, Jan 2024, just look at that. It's down 95%, 95.37%. It's not the only one. I mean, just look at this. Look at Sonic. Sonic is obviously the new Phantom or Phantom. I mean, this one is down 90%. Most alts are down 90%. This is exactly what a bear market looks like. And you know what? People believe that you can't make money in a bear market. I'm going to show you today how you can make money in a bear market. There are ways to make money. If you know what you're doing, I'll show you a strategy today that actually shows you where you can actually make money. So, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Like crazy times. And I think, like, when I look at this is what 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 actually said today. And I think he's right. Said Bitcoin bear markets don't bottom when there's still hope. They bottom when there's no hope. Now, I don't know. I mean, the way I see it, there's probably less hope now in crypto than I've seen in the last, how many years have I been here? I mean, the 12 years that I've been here. I think that right now is the time when, from a retail perspective, there's almost no hope. From an institutional perspective, I think that there's still quite a lot of hope. And maybe that institutional perspective will actually eventually take over. Yeah, let's talk. We're going to talk about that. We've got a whole lot of things to talk about. Ultimately, I'm going to show you today how you can make money in this bear market. And I mean, it's one or two simple tricks that you can apply, and you can actually make tons and tons and tons of cash. So let's get going, guys. I must say, one of the reasons why this bear market is so brutal is because there's no retail in crypto. Like, if you look at the retail charts in crypto, which Ben showed us actually yesterday, like, there's no one here anymore. And remember, what retail did was they brought energy to the bear market. So if you're in a bear market and, you know, you're feeling down, there was always someone out there going, you know, hodl, buy the dip, etc., etc. Now, because retail's not here, because retail got completely wiped out by October 10th and we're in this like this crazy time where the only people that are actually a little bit bullish on Bitcoin are the very big institutions, right? And there's this handover of the Bitcoin baton from the old OGs to the new institutional guys. The old OGs were the big fighters. Those were the guys that were going out there and they were fighting every single day to get Bitcoin accepted by the system. But once Bitcoin was accepted by the system, kind of like they handed over the baton to the big institutions, and now the big institutions are basically picking up the fight. And so that raw energy that we used to have around crypto and around bear markets and around altcoins is pretty much gone, and it's all been replaced with probably Bitcoin, and then this word called tokenization, which is now the big buzzword in Wall Street. And so here we go. So this is, I mean, what a bear market feels like. And I must say, this one has been extremely brutal. I mean, as I showed you, this is the numbers for the last month. I mean, actually, let's see what happens if we go a year back. Okay, maybe a year back, you got one or two things that have actually exploded. But generally, if you look at it on the 1 month time frame, it looks terrible. And if you look at the individual charts, it really looks terrible. The other thing about I mean, I don't know, this for me is also the epitome of a bear market. This is Charles Hoskinson in Hong Kong at Consensus.
So the industry's not healthy. Shit is getting real, you know? We got no liquidity. A lot of people are sad. Twitter is just a nuclear dumpster fire. Sentiment's at an all-time low. And that's okay, because the thing is that despite the fact that the micro looks bad, the macro is just saying we need to have a new paradigm, a new vision, new narrative.
So people are digging deep for narratives. Charles is arriving, talking at Consensus, wearing a McDonald's helmet. Everybody's getting liquidated. I don't know if you guys watch the hyper liquid trackers. I watched the one that CMM created, the hyper tracker, and it's crazy to see just how many people are getting liquidated. And the reason why they're getting liquidated is because they're not using the correct strategy in the correct market. They're people who have money, but they're not using the correct strategy in this market. Same time, if I look at Fear and Greed's at 5, guys. It's at 5. 5. I think it's only ever once been at 5, and that was 6.5 years ago. I think that's the only time we've ever had a fear and greed at 5. Retail is out of here completely. Even some of the biggest people in the industry, 𝗙𝗘𝗃𝗧 pretty much left the industry. Mike Novogratz coming out now and saying people buy crypto for the period where crypto buy people for huge gains is finished. If we're not buying crypto for gains, then what are we buying it for? Like, honestly, we're not here we're here for the gains. Everyone's here for the gains, right? This is also the period where founders are getting killed for selling some of their stock. So Brian Armstrong is getting a lot of flack because over the last year he sold $500 million worth of Coinbase shares. But people forget that he still owns, like, I don't know what the number is, but I call it like $10 billion worth of Coinbase shares. So ultimately right now, this is exactly what a bear market looks like. Now, one of the things in a bear market is that news gets counter traded or doesn't move the markets at all. So yesterday we saw like crazy news. We saw, I mean, just listen to this. This is Uniswap and this is BlackRock basically partnering up, not partnering up, but moving their BUIDL fund or getting onto Uniswap, onto the new Uniswap chain. And this is an announcement from Uniswap. And then this is what the chart looks like. It got pumped, and then it got dumped immediately, and now the stock is back. And this is after, if you read between the lines here, BlackRock also made a strategic investment within the Uniswap ecosystem. Like, BlackRock, the world's biggest asset manager, BlackRock, the world's biggest asset manager, made a strategic investment within the Uniswap ecosystem, and this is what the chart looks like. It's terrible. Another one, Layer 0. Layer 0, I mean, I've never seen an announcement so well executed in crypto. Number one, they announced incredible tech that they actually launched. We'll go into tech in a second. At the same time, like, big names, people like Cathie Wood, announced that they are joining the Layer 0 like team as an advisory. So after getting to know the Layer 0 team and what they're building over the past year, I couldn't think of a better opportunity to join an advisory board for the first time in a long time. I mean, Cathie Wood joined the Layer 0 advisory board. This announcement should have sent Layer 0 flying, but I mean, it's retraced like most the price pump. So like if you look at the price pump here, it went up to 260 and it's now back at 220. So it's retraced most of the things. And all of this together got me thinking about something that 𝗏𝗏 said at the beginning of the bear market. He called the bear market right. He was spot on in terms of the bear market. He called it at the top of the cycle. He said, every single pump in the next 30 to 90 days is a trap, is there to trap you. You are the exit liquidity. And he basically alluded to the fact that no pump is actually going to last. And to a certain extent, he's been right. Like to a certain extent, 𝗏𝗏 is right. We haven't had one single pump in the Bitcoin price. And how much worse has it actually been on alts? Like alts are basically, I'm just going to pull up this chart as the altcoin chart. But maybe that's the opportunity. Maybe what he said is actually the opportunity. Maybe the fact that every single pump just gets is there to trap you is actually the opportunity, right? And so why? Because if you know that nothing can move this market, if you know that this market's apathetic, if you know that there's no liquidity in this market, then every single pump that happens into any kind of altcoin is an opportunity for you, right? Because if you know that BlackRock is going to make an announcement and that announcement is going to move the Uniswap price up and then it's going to collapse the price back down, and if you know that Layer 0 is going to launch like incredible tech and announce Cathie Wood as an advisor and it's going to pump and it's going to basically be dropped down, and if you know that, for example, like an 𝗙𝗏𝗃𝗃 gets pumped and then it's just going to come straight back down, maybe that's the whole opportunity. Maybe that's literally all you have to do to make money in the bear market. And so basically what I looked at is I looked at a strategy, and that strategy for me was to say the following. What if every single time price spikes on news or on an event, what if we just shorted it? Just until times change, until we actually get a pump. Like, it's that simple. And I went back and I looked at the charts, looked at things like Uniswap, I looked at things like Ronin, I looked at things like 𝗙𝗏𝗃𝗃, and the conclusion is like overwhelming, that basically says every single time in this market where there is a pump, until such time as the trend turns. Now remember, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. Every single time that this that you get a pump, or you get some kind of news, or you get some kind of short squeeze, or you get some kind of anything that happens, and you get these pumps, just short it. Because if you short it, probably you'll make money. So literally, like, this is the pump from yesterday, and today that pump is down minus 20%. This one was also a pump. So I think if I go to the 1 month, you can see it. No, you can only see it on the 1 year. So literally, your job becomes super easy. And I'll show you exactly all the tools that you need for this job. Number one, use the Banter bubbles, right? So use Banter bubbles. Have a glance at the tokens that are here. Look at the ones that grow overwhelmingly big over here. Like, for example, like Chain, right? Okay, what's going on at Chain? There's a short squeeze now. Right now, Chain trading at 75 cents. In fact, let's actually get a proper chart of Chain. Here we go. So, okay, there's the Chain chart. Let's go on to daily over here, right? You can see that there was a short squeeze over here. Okay, cool. When you know that there's a short squeeze over here, just sell it, because there's no reason why this token is going to continue to move up. Every single token right now has the same chart. That chart is just bleeding down. Every single time that there is one of these pumps and there is news that will justify the pumps, you know that as soon as the news comes out, the token's going to pump, and then it's going to come straight back down. It's really that simple, right? So you can apply this. Literally, just go to Banter bubbles. I like the tools that you can use for this. Use the bubbles, because that just shows you, okay, today everything's up because yesterday was an absolute bloodbath. Look for the tokens that are big, and look for the tokens that actually have news. When they announce the news, go to one of the exchanges and actually go and short the token. Like, the guys in Front Runners have been doing this for a long time. So if you look here, you can basically see, like, here's the Uniswap trade in Front Runners. Here is another one of the trades. This one was the 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗡 trade. Andre posted the 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗡 trade over here. He actually made money here, 165% on 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗡. I think they made money over here on the Andre again made money on Chain. He broke down the whole thesis here. It's pretty simple. Whenever you get a pump, try and find the news. As soon as that news comes out, dump it and go short. It's literally that simple. So what do you need? What are the tools? First tool you need, Banter bubbles. Second tool, which helps, you don't really need it, but it does help a lot, is you get the news terminal, right? So I'll show you now. I mean, like, if you guys want the news terminal, I'll put a link below. You guys can sign up for the news terminal. But literally, this tells you when the news is happening. So you go to the bubbles, you see what's happening here, and you wait for the news. I think my license key is actually working. So you wait for the news to come out. You see if there's a pump. But unlike normal news trading, so normal news trading, you wait for the news and then you buy the news. Here you do something completely different. You wait for the news. As soon as the news comes out, you check if there's a pump. If there is a pump, you basically just sell. Simple. Like, it's really that simple. That is right now, and until further notice, and until we get the market actually turning, that is the easiest. Here goes the news terminal. This is where it becomes addictive. This is where the news terminal becomes addictive. Okay, so you basically get the news terminal. You can just click on here and you can actually just see the chart over here. If you see that the chart starts moving on a low time frame, as soon as the chart starts moving on a low time frame, short. Simple. Because every single pump will get killed. That's it. It's like the easiest thing in the world. What do you need? You need the bubbles. You need the news terminal. You need the news terminal. And I guess you need an exchange. If you need an exchange, I mean, I've been actually trading a little bit on Gravity. You can still get that airdrop on Gravity, right? So it's a decentralized DEX. It's a decentralized perpetuals DEX with privacy built in. It's built on ZK Sync. And effectively, if you trade on this, and you can trade pretty much any token that you really want here. They've got a very wide range of tokens. And if you do trade, there's still that airdrop that you guys can land up basically earning. So I'll leave a link to that below. But that's all you need. And I think in this market, I mean, we can sit here and we can wait and we can wait and we can wait for the market to give us the market that we want. But ultimately, it's not about, this is what the market's doing at the moment. There is no momentum in the market. And until such time as there is momentum, every single pump will get sold. And we should just play that game. Every time there's a pump, just short it. Just short it. Like, it's so simple. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll load up an account tomorrow on Gravity. I don't have I don't have an account ready. I'll load up an account, and what we'll do is for the next couple of days when we're here and we're together, what we'll do is let's play the game. Let's actually play this game. Let's actually together, when there's news and it pumps, we actually sell. So I'll load up an account, you load up an account, small money, just to test the system. I've tested it. Our researchers have tested it. What we'll do is we'll load up an account and we will wait for news to pump tokens, and every day we'll just short. We'll just become someone says I got wrecked shorting. You can get wrecked shorting, but when if the market turns, you will get wrecked shorting. But until such time as the market turns, I mean, that's the charts, guys. I mean, let me give you perspective. Robinhood launched their chain on Arbitrum. That's Arbitrum, guys. I mean, Arbitrum's pretty much at zero. Like, it's nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, that's the story for today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.